Hey, what's up, everybody? So today I am joined by the infamous Mr. Give Yo Girl Back, the Bardock Obama.
Yo, yo.
Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming episodes of Dragon Ball Super with the fight of Gohan versus Lavenda. I believe he's fighting Lavender, right?
I think he's fighting Lavender. He's fighting some dude.
Yeah, one of the wolves from Universe 9, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's so much different universes and gods and all sorts of shit that it's a little bit complicated to keep up with, but I believe it's Universe 9. I guess one of the big things to start off with, I'm kind of curious, what do you think is going to go down with this fight? You think Gohan's taking the L? How's it going to move around? And what is it going to mean for the future of Gohan's fights in this tournament?
Man, you know what? As a fan of Gohan, we all want him to win. We all want him to make that comeback. But then if you think about it, it feels like he has to lose this match because it's an exhibition match. And he hasn't really fought in a while since Resurrection F arc. So what can he possibly do in this fight to really solidify his comeback? So what I think should happen, not what's actually going to happen, but what should happen, he loses, and this is a wake-up call. That's what I think should happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's a double-edged sword because on one hand, it's like we've been waiting so long and, you know, with the promotional posters and everything, we were like, this is it, Gohan's coming back. And his very first fight, even though technically it's the preliminaries, but nevertheless, it's like, oh, it's such a slap in the face in one regard that, oh shit, his first fight and he's gonna get bodied or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, people are going to get pissed if he loses this, but I feel like it's all a setup. They know what they're doing. They're Dragon Ball series has always been about setups. They always set up characters for either failure or success. And right now, I feel like the whole entire series has been setting up Gohan for this very moment to make a comeback. I think though, for him to make a comeback would be when the actual tournament starts, not this exhibition match. Because I don't think, if you think about it, the Omni Kings, they're trying to be more impressed with the whole fighting thing, and I don't think they would be impressed if it was completely one-sided. So we already had Majin Buu win, so if Gohan loses, it would be much more competitive, something that they want. And I think it would set up Gohan to make a comeback. That's what I think.
Let me throw out a scenario real quick. How would you feel if Gohan won the match? Would it still apply in a sense of like setting things up for Gohan to be still have a triumphant return in a sense, but he won with like being absolutely destroyed? He's almost dead there. Would that still work, or you think that's still like giving him the win when he's kind of rusty?
I think if he wins and it was a very close match, he barely won that match, that would be still satisfying because that would still be the wake-up call that he needs, because he already knows that whichever universes loses, Zeno is going to destroy the universe. So he now has to legitimately not only fight for his life, but for the life of his family. And he's going to see that, yeah, he's been slacking. He's weak as shit now. And compared to everybody else, he's pretty weak. He should have been stronger than Majin Buu at this point, but we don't even know who's stronger between Majin Buu and Gohan. Probably Majin Buu. Majin Buu is a beast. And I mean, if he can keep it competitive and he shows that he can even still go Mystic, that's something that we've been all waiting for. Can he still go Mystic?
So have you seen the preview for the upcoming episode, or?
I did, and he goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Do you think that that's a hint that he can no longer enter the Mystic form, or is it something? Because it was never really clear, like to my knowledge. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't remember if he could actually still go into Super Saiyan, or was it just pointless because in Mystic he was pretty much maxed out, or?
I was never too sure about that because with the Dragon Ball community, there's a lot of speculation that gets passed off as fact. But one of the things that I was always under the assumption was that he couldn't go Super Saiyan because Mystic was his full potential unlocked. So what I think is he probably can't remember how to go Mystic because he was unsure he can still go Super Saiyan at one point. And I think he all he knows is how to do Super Saiyan right now. So, I mean, how much training can he possibly get fighting Piccolo?
Yeah, because it felt as though every time at the end of every arc we've had up until this point, we saw a little bit of training with Gohan. He's pretty much been training with Piccolo, like you said, and it looked as though like, yeah, okay, he's getting the rust off, but again, like you mentioned, what can he really, gain out of training with Piccolo? It's similar, I always think this when I see like Krillin talking about, yeah, I'm gonna go train with Roshi. Like, what are you really gonna get out of training with people that are a bajillion times weaker than you?
Exactly.
So maybe, yeah, the whole mystic thing is out of the question, but if he takes this L or he barely wins, then, moving on into the main tournament, he can eventually go back and unlock. Now, here's another question that kind of been floating around my mind. Do you think there's a possibility that he could go and sit with old Kai once again and unlock the mystic form, or he doesn't need that anymore? What do you think about that?
I mean, I guess that would imply that it's possible to re-unlock it, but he's already unlocked it. I think it's all about being able to harness his power again to reach that level. It's as if trying to go Super Saiyan 2, but you can barely summon enough power to go Super Saiyan 1. You know what I mean? He needs to be able to regain all the ki that he was able to do when he was in the Majin Buu saga, and able to reach that level again. Would it take for him to get that mystic form unlocked again? I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I think that I don't think it would help him, to be honest, if he was to go back to the Okai. I think he just needs to go back to the basics, train again, and really be pushed to his limits. And I don't think he's gotten that with Piccolo. I think he needs to go train with Goku or something.
Yeah, or Vegeta or just somebody strong. I would love, and I doubt they'll do it, but I would really love if he went and trained with Whis. It will be a long grind because he's he should be anyway, but Dragon Ball Super's logic has been a little wonky, but he's way behind Goku and Vegeta at this point, right? He's pretty much outclassed in every shape and form, but him training with Whis, I think, would be the best thing because he could slowly tap into God Ki, which could ultimately lead him into Super Saiyan Blue and things of that nature, and also possibly, break the boundaries of maybe even mixing something, which I know this is going into complete fan BS, but, having his mystic form also tapping into Super Saiyan Blue, that sounds like some crazy next level shit that actually would put Gohan at the forefront of being possibly stronger than everyone else.
I mean, that would be great. Like, implying that it's possible for a half Saiyan to go, Super Saiyan Blue or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be amazing to introduce Gohan and reestablish him as one of the strongest characters again, because at this point, he's kind of a waste of character. He's just there. He's just like Krillin, a waste of character just to provide side commentary when it's needed. And it's a disservice to the fan base. But I think if he was to go train with Whis, that would be fucking fantastic. I think if he was to go train with Whis, he would probably end up being stronger than Vegeta at a certain point, because even Vegeta has stated that Gohan has by far the most potential out of everyone, and he never really tapped into that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk real quickly too about, because we see the trio de danger, the three wolves or whatever, and seemingly based on all the knowledge we have thus far, their ki is undetectable. Now, initially I thought, okay, maybe it's because it's God Ki, but then it's completely proven false. The simple fact that Goku and Vegeta can't sense it either, and they already are established that they're at the point of being able to sense it. So what is your theory regarding why is their ki like undetectable? Could it be that fruit thing that they threw? Maybe it's something like outside interference in a sense that is holding it down, or could it be their universe, or the fact that they're wolfmen in a sense that it's just different for people to be able to sense their ki?
You know what? It could be either of those. Those are all great assumptions. But let's also go back to the Namek saga when they still use scouters and they learn how to suppress their ki and to hide from scouters. It could also be one of those instances where they're so trained and so focused that they know how to suppress their ki.
That's actually, yeah. Wow, that would be great. And, Dragon Ball Super has been, as of recent and for a while now, actually, going and doing throwbacks to older stuff, like, them bringing back the Mafuba from Dragon Ball. So that would actually be perfect. Now, the fact that Goku there's a big theory going around right now that Goku and the Omni King already came up with this whole plan, and the reason why they're saying, yeah, we're going to destroy things is just to make everyone go at their hardest. But Goku isn't telling everyone. He only told Gohan. Do you think there's a possibility the reason why Goku told Gohan that is to push him because he knows his son, and he knows that will push him, assuming that the theory is they're really not going to destroy anything, it's just to bring out the best in people? Is that why you think Goku would tell Gohan this and not anyone else?
I think, honestly, 100%. I think he's trying his best to motivate Gohan because, let's be honest, Gohan got so comfortable with the idea that Vegeta and Goku will always be the ones to protect them, to protect the universe, and he really didn't have to. He was right, who else is stronger than Goku and Vegeta at this point? Besides fan service and besides plot reasons,
Yeah.
no, there was really no one else that was stronger. We had Hit, who was a much more elite fighter. He had better techniques, but he wasn't necessarily stronger per se. He just knew abilities that was unfamiliar to Goku. And Goku is a fight genius. So Gohan didn't really have to fight. Frieza came, he did his thing, he got bodied, but then Goku comes, Vegeta comes, and, they body Frieza. So after that, he didn't really need to fight. But then he realized around that arc that, what will happen if Goku and Vegeta wasn't there. So I think Goku is starting to probably get tired of his son not fighting and probably going to use this to motivate him. And yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, he's probably basically just like, hey, you lazy shit, get off your ass. It's time to fucking fight, goddammit.
It's like, yo, your daughter is about to catch this L, man. Like, you need to, dude, you need to take off the glasses, put on the gi.
The glasses,
Yeah, he got
the yellow glasses.
The yellow glasses. He got Super Saiyan glasses, this guy right here. His glasses could go Super Saiyan, but he can't. Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
I could imagine the Gohan fans, they're ready to dislike your video.
Oh, shit. And I guess for the final discussion on this, talking about Gohan and, his potential, let's look a little bit into the distant future of this arc. Do you think there's a possibility for Gohan to inevitably become what he was in the Cell arc, essentially the strongest fighter? Or do you think maybe he'll have a couple of good matches and then it'll go back to the Goku and Vegeta show?
I think at this point, he can't be the strongest anymore just because Goku and Vegeta are leaps and miles ahead. Just thinking about all the shit that Goku has learned and went through, Super Saiyan 3, learned how to harness the God Key, and Gohan can barely go Super Saiyan 2 at this point. I think at the end of the series, it would be, a fan's dream for him to become the number one person again. I think what it would take for that to happen would be removal of Goku and Vegeta. Somehow they would not have to be part of the equation for Gohan to reach that point. So
yeah. Which is not going to happen. They're never going to get rid of them. They're too fan serviceable. Everybody loves them. But if you think about it in this regard, at the end of Dragon Ball Z, which I guess is another debate that people go back and forth about, Gohan, in my eyes anyway, Gohan was stronger than Goku at the end. I mean, if they would have even brought back Gohan, I'd argue that he could have taken the win, which it kind of felt a little bit silly to me that they were like, no, instead of bringing Gohan, let's just use the wish for something else. I thought automatically Gohan could have done it, right?
I think he could have, yeah.
So you start off Super, and I guess Gohan's technically rusty, but for all intents and purposes, let's say Gohan was at his max of what he was after his Mystic transformation and everything. Essentially, what he would have to do is tap into some God Ki, because Goku went Super Saiyan God in Battle of Gods. Then he went Super Saiyan Blue during the Resurrection F period. And then on top of that, he had Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. And then whatever he knows up until this point that gives him this cockiness that he's able to take out beings from other universes that are, top tier. So, yeah, he has a lot to overcome in order to achieve that status of number one fighter.
Well, also remember, Gohan at his peak was right under Buhan Gotek's absorption form. He was right under him. And then Goku Super Saiyan 3 was kind of like similar at that point, and then kept up with Kid Buu, even though Super Buu was the strongest and Mystic Gohan was stronger than Super Buu. Also keep that in mind as well. And I don't think Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So the whole power scaling thing is a bit odd. I think the whole power scaling is all over the place because if you do the math, it's just all jumbled around. But I think if at his best, Mystic Gohan was probably right next to Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I think that's my opinion. I'm not too sure. I'm not a Dragon Ball expert, but just looking at how things unfold, it kind of makes sense that he was right next to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or right under him, you know? Because Goku will always be the strongest, you know? He will always be the person that was ahead, even though Gohan, when he fought Perfect Cell, he was clearly stronger than Goku. But even though there was an argument, we can talk about that another time, but there was an argument that Goku could have beaten Perfect Cell. I remember there was a couple of debates about that, and he chose not to, just to show off and let Gohan do it for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's no catching up at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the only possible way, which it would be illogical, but it did happen, is if Dragon Ball Super does the logic they did for Future Trunks, where he went from struggling against, normal base Goku Black, and all of a sudden he's Super Genki Dama sword fucking slashing merge Zamas and shit like that. So I guess if they want to go that route, they can, but they more than likely aren't, because again, it's as hard as it is to say it is the Goku and Vegeta show. They are, especially for Goku, the most. They're the leaders, and these are the characters that Shueisha and Toei want to be the saviors at the end of the day.
And let's keep in mind too, like Dragon Ball Super has been most of the time fan service. So if they wanted to bring back Gohan, they can. They don't even need an explanation. If they wanted to use this moment of the exhibition match to make him suddenly be stronger than Goku, they can.
Yeah, it'd be illogical, but
yeah, like they can. They can just say, you know what? Let's make him go Super Saiyan 2, and just show that all he needs to do is just train with Piccolo. For some fucking reason, training with Piccolo makes him a beast again. And yeah, I mean, they can do that. It wouldn't make sense, and a lot of Dragon Ball Super doesn't make sense, but it will be a fan service that everyone at this point deserves and wants.
Yeah, you said it best. And I'm kind of curious what the listeners, if you've reached this point, what do you guys think about all this? First of all, in the preliminaries, do you think Gohan's taking the L, or he's going to win or barely win? And what do you see in the distant future at the very least of this arc for Gohan's character? Do you think he'll be the savior of everything, or he'll have a couple of good matches and then it's going to go back to, hey, Goku and Vegeta saved the day? We'd love to know your feedback, and I want to thank Bardock for joining me for this video.
No problem, man. Anytime.
I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.
Peace.